Article 21. To see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen pursuant to MGL Chapter 40, Section 15A, to lease the care and custody of the real property and improvements, currently known, thereon known, as the building known as the Boys and Girls, located on town-owned land located on Viking Drive, if the Board of Selectmen so vote to lease or convey said property and improvements for the purposes of improving, expanding, and the perpetual management of the property for youth social activities, pursuant to the requirements of MGL Chapter 40, Section 3 and MGL Chapter 30B, and the following, and upon terms and conditions acceptable to the Board of Selectmen, and pursuant to the authority granted the Board of Selectmen by MGL Chapter 44. Section 55C, and further, that if the Board of Selectmen is to lease, for a maximum of 99 years, said property, that lease may be subject to the prior placement of a restriction on said property, included that the two rear bays of said building, which are presently occupied by the Wareham School Department, and the Emergency Management Agency of the town, or take any other action thereon, or to do, or act, in any manner relative thereto, inserted by the Board of Selectmen. Article 22. To see if the town will vote to transfer $8,600 from the parking meter fund to the municipal maintenance line painting account, or to do, or act, in any manner relative thereto, inserted by the Board of Selectmen at the request of the municipal maintenance director. Article 23. To see if the town will vote to appropriate and transfer $15,000 from the Waterways Improvement and Maintenance Fund to the Harbors and Beaches Maintenance Account, or to do, or act, in any manner relative thereto, inserted by the Board of Selectmen at the request of the Municipal Maintenance Director. Article 24. To see if the town will vote to appropriate and transfer a sum of $15,000 from the Cemetery Perpetual Care Interest Fund to a special account for the routine care and maintenance of the town cemeteries, or to do, or act, in any manner relative thereto, inserted by the Board of Selectmen at the request of the Municipal Maintenance Director. Article 25. To see if the town will vote to petition the General Court for special legislation, revising the town charter, in accordance with the recommendations of the Charter Review Committee, which may be found in a document entitled Charter Review Committee, Proposed Town Charter, as on file with the town clerk, and provided for the adoption of a new charter, with an elected town council to be comprised of precinct and at-large councillors, who shall serve for 2-year terms, an elected mayor, who shall serve a term of 4 years, an elected town clerk, who shall serve a term of 3 years, and an elected school committee, whose members shall serve for terms of 3 years. The proposed town charter is available online, or a copy is available for review at the town clerk's office, or the Wareham Free Library. Copies available, but copy charges will apply. The new charter shall not take effect in the town until approved by the voters at an annual or special election, provided however, that the General Court may make clerical or editorial changes of form only to the bill, inserted by the Board of Selectmen, at the request of the Wareham Charter Review Committee. Article 26. To see if the town will vote to amend the town's bylaw, Section 2 Division 2, Article 1, to read as follows. Section 3 to Division 2, Article 1, to the town's bylaws currently reads as follows. No person shall deposit any ashes, tin cans, old apparel, leaves, or any other rubbish, decayed matter, or garbage, on any street, except in a proper container. Whoever violates this bylaw shall be liable to a penalty of not more than $200 for each offense. The Minot Forest Committee recommends an insertion of, or along, after the words garbage on, and before any street. After the word street, we recommend inserting, or any property owned or leased by the town of Wareham, or any of its subdivisions. After the phrase, except in a proper container, we recommend inserting, for pickup. We also recommend increasing the maximum penalty to $500 for each offense. Section 3 to Division 2, Article 1 to the town's bylaws would then read as follows. No person shall deposit any rubbish, trash, or garbage of any kind, on or along any street, or any property owned or leased by the town of Wareham, or any of its subdivisions, except in a proper container for pickup. Whoever violates this bylaw shall be liable to a penalty of not more than $500 for each offense. The above changes would inter alia support any claim by the town for encroachments on the Minot Forest by people using the forest to dump their grass, leaves, etc. Inserted by the Board of Selectmen at the request of the Minot Forest Committee. Article 27. To see if the town will vote to amend Division 6, Article 1, of the General Bylaws, the Wareham Wetland Protective Bylaw, by inserting the following new provisions. 1. Insert the following in Section 7, Definitions, Subsection 1. The term buffer zone shall include the area of land extending 100 feet horizontally outward from the boundary of the following resource areas: any freshwater or coastal wetlands, marshes, wet meadows, bogs, swamps, vernal pools, banks, reservoirs, lakes, ponds of any size, intermittent streams, creeks, beaches, dunes, estuaries, the ocean, lands under water bodies, and lands containing shellfish. The term no activity zone shall include a portion of the buffer zone extending outward from the boundary of the resource area in which no work, including the removal of vegetation, is allowed. To insert the following new section, Section 18. Buffer zone. A. Residential construction. A 30-foot no-activity zone shall be required for all new residential structures in developments of 3 units or less, additions, accessory structures, including, but not limited to, garages, sheds, and pools, associated construction, including, but not limited to, driveways, and septic systems, and site work, including, but not limited to, landscaping and grading, within the buffer zone. In the event that there are multiple resource areas at a given site with associated buffer zone, the 30-foot no-activity zone shall be measured from the boundary of the resource area closest to the work. Developments of 4 or more residential units shall be subject to the requirements for commercial/industrial development in subsection B. B. Commercial/industrial development and residential construction of 4 units or more. A 50-foot no-activity zone shall be required for all new commercial and industrial developments, including, but not limited to, strip malls, office buildings, retail stores, automotive uses, warehouses, and industrial buildings, and developments of 4 or more residential units that will alter 2,500 square feet or more of buffer zone. In the event that there are multiple resource areas at a given site with associated buffer zone, the 50-foot no-activity zone shall be measured from the boundary of the resource area closest to the work. For commercial/industrial developments and developments of 4 or more residential units that will alter less than 2,500 square feet of buffer zone, the Conservation Commission may permit a no-activity zone less than 50 feet in width, but not less than 30 feet in width. C. Exceptions. 1. The Conservation Commission may waive or reduce the no-activity zone requirements listed above for the redevelopment of sites that are currently paved or altered with other impervious surfaces within buffer zone. 2. The Conservation Commission may waive or reduce the no-activity zone requirements listed above for projects involving work necessary to access buildable upland, including access roads, driveways, and utilities, as long as there is no other means of accessing said buildable upland, and said work meets all the other requirements of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and this bylaw. 3. The Conservation Commission may waive or reduce the no-activity zone requirements listed above if in its judgment such a reduction is necessary to accommodate a project that will have an overall benefit to the public and/or to the environment, such as a sewer expansion project or a wildlife enhancement project. 4. The no-activity zone. Continued.